The book is about your mom and the whole family, the Vanderbilt family. Is this something you thought about doing before, or what made you decide to write
Yeah, I mean,
this
it's a history of the Vanderbilts, which I grew up not really knowing anything about, and my mom, frankly, actually didn't really know much about them either, because she had a very sort of tortured background with them as a child. And I realized when I had Wyatt that I didn't know what I would tell him about, these people from his past or his family's past. So I started researching this, and I wanted him to kind of have an honest view of this family, which was once the richest family in America. And, in case people kind of imagine him as being part of that dynasty, I wanted him to know why he's not, and why
Right.
I want him to, kind of make his own way.
I was surprised also because it really was, the Vanderbilt family was, like you said, a very wealthy family.
Yeah.
And you assumed that it was passed down to you, but
Right.
your mother did not leave you any money.
Correct.
And you're planning on doing the same with Wyatt so that he doesn't, because I do think it's important.
I mean, I'll college and stuff.
Right,
I'll help him out. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But I think it's important for us to know the value of money and work hard for
absolutely.
it. And I think it's.
I do think if somebody grows up believing that there's some pot of gold that they're going to inherit or something, I think it kind of sucks your initiative. And if you look, I mean, that's one of the fascinating things. One of the reasons I was so interested in the Vanderbilt history is, one guy made all the money, and he died with $100 million in 1877, which was one out of every $20 in circulation. It was more money than was in the U.S. Treasury. And subsequent generations essentially just spent the money and built big houses, and they had yachts. And, it's gone. It disappeared. And I'm glad I don't have the Vanderbilt name. I'm glad my parents told me early on, like, look, college will be paid for, but that's it, and that's the way it should be, and I think so.
But did you, when you were younger, did you think, oh, well, I'm going to get some money?
No, never.
You never did?
No, I mean, I think other people thought that, and I could always tell when somebody knew, this kid his mom is Gloria Vanderbilt, and they would make assumptions. And I'd go online, once there was the internet, occasionally I'd go online and read that I was going to inherit the hundreds of millions of dollars, and I was like, wow, that's news to me. And my mom, right before she died, she was so funny. She turned to me at one moment, she was like, I don't know, we were watching TV, it was like the last 2 weeks of her life, and she said, boy, I bet people think you're going to inherit a lot of money. And she was like, boy, won't they be surprised? I was like, yeah.
Won't you be surprised, although you knew. But you modeled as a kid, so
I did. Yeah, I was very concerned. My dad died when I was 10, and when you lose a parent early on, suddenly the world seems to be a very dangerous place. And I was very concerned about my mom and being, my mom was fantastic, but she wasn't exactly like, great, Members only, 30% off.
It was a members only jacket,
Yeah. It's probably back. That's probably now a thing again.
I bet it is.
Yeah, that was a very groovy early 80s thing.
And the book also, it turns out you have a family chock full of gays.
That's what's so interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Who knew? Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting. My mom was taken away from her mom as a child by courts and given to an aunt. One of the reasons the court ruled to take my mom away is that her mother was seen kissing a woman in bed who she was having a relationship with. And she had been married to a man, but she also had relationships with women. My mom's aunt, who she was given to, also had a whole secret gay life. And the Commodore Vanderbilt, one of his sons, who he hated, was secretly gay. And he didn't end well. And but he gave his house to his male lover.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wow, it's chock full of gays.
Yeah. You could have called the book Chock Full of Gays. Yeah. That's your next book.
That's the sequel. Yeah. That's the Netflix series. That's the spin I'm going to put on it.
Anderson, you're going to come back.
Or maybe just Vanderbilt, a gay old time.
Yeah. That's right.
I tip my hat to you.
Big time back then.
Oh. Right you are.
All right, we have to take a break, but you're going to hang around. You're going to help us raise some money for breast cancer awareness later on in the show. Vanderbilt chock full of gays. No, that's not it. The Rise and Fall of an American Dynasty is available now. You're all going home with a copy.
Oh.
We'll be back.